Hi, this is Mike Campbell and I'm the founder of Glossika. In today's video, we're going to discuss the difference between learning a writing system first versus learning how to speak. Now, I know for a lot of people, learning a new writing system is exciting and it's a lot of fun because you get to discover what all of those squiggly symbols mean, and that's kind of fun. But does it really actually help us achieve any level of speaking ability? The thing is that if you're trying to learn a writing system, usually the process of reading the words off the page is a very, very slow process. And in some writing systems, like Chinese, there's no indication of what the tone is or what the pronunciation is. And in Thai, you might be able to get the pronunciation approximately, but you may not remember which tone it's in. In some languages like Bengali or Hindi, you may have trouble knowing like which vowels are not pronounced. And in languages like Arabic or Hebrew, you won't even know which vowels are supposed to be pronounced in that word. In languages like Amharic, you don't know which letters are doubled. There's a gemination rule in Amharic that's not in the writing system. So when we're learning new writing systems, sometimes there are things that can mislead us, and it can really slow down our progress. If you're learning a language like Russian, you don't know where the accent is, and the accent changes the pronunciation. So what do? Well, what I found is that when people are learning, when native speakers are learning their writing system, it's actually a really easy step for them to take because they already know the words, they already know the language, they already know how to speak. So when I see a small Chinese child, they ask the mother, "Hey, what does this say? What does this say?" And the mother says, "Mao." And the child knows, oh, Mao is a cat, and he sees the character and he's like, oh, that's cat, it's Mao. Basically, the child doesn't have to remember that the character is pronounced Mao. He's just associating it with the word that it already knows. If the child says, well, what does that mean? And the mother says, oh, that's go. And the child says, oh, that's dog, go. There isn't really like a transfer of translation anywhere in there. They just remember that that's Mao and that's go. And they already know those words because they use it, quite frequently. And so I've seen Chinese children by the age of 6 or 7 be able to read already close to 1,000 Chinese characters before even going to school. As long as the child is curious and they ask questions, they're able to learn this quite quickly and easily. When they go to school, they learn the proper pronunciation of everything, and everything becomes very regular, normalized, regularized, standardized, whatever you may call it. So that's the process of education. But when we're learning a foreign language, if you start off with the writing system, it's a huge barrier to progress. So I would say that if you have learned pronunciation and you've learned how to read pinyin, for example, for Chinese, or if you've learned the romaji in Japanese, or at least you've learned how to read the hiragana and katakana yet already, you can use that. But again, those things can actually slow you down. So I would say that if you want to get learning how to speak a language, learn through the romanization first. It doesn't matter what spelling you use. You don't have to memorize the spelling. What I would say, what's most important is to get the sounds in your head. Don't try to remember how something is spelled or what it looks like on paper, because you may be just using that as a crutch in the beginning. Learn how the language sounds and then be able to say those words fluently. Get your sentences flowing. And then once you've learned how to say it, then go back to the writing system and, I may be interested to say this cat or this dog I want to know what it looks like in Chinese. Okay, that's what it looks like. But the next time you're going to be reading those words in a sentence, it's still going to take you like maybe 5 to 10 seconds to process that character when you see it. You'll be like, whoa, wait, I know that word. And you're thinking, and every time you do that when you read a sentence, you're causing a break in your fluency in practicing that sentence. So if I take a sentence and I'm looking at it off the page and I'm reading it, I'm trying to practice my fluency. I'm not going to reach fluency if I have to think about every character. The other thing is, if I say that whole sentence in one breath and it's written in Roman letters, I'm actually training my brain and my tongue to speak in a fluent way right from the beginning. And so you're going to reach fluency faster. Now, I can of course learn how to read the writing system. I'm just not going to be able to read it as fast as I can in a fluent way. So if your goal is fluency, go with the romanization, get your pronunciation right, know how to transfer all of that into the right pronunciation, be able to use the language in audio format first before going to the writing. So again, I'm not saying that you should not learn the writing. I'm just saying don't use the writing system to help your fluency or to be able to practice the language. Treat the writing system as a different method of attack. for learning that language. It's simply for input purposes. Like, I want to be able to understand what's written here, but it's not going to help your fluency.
Hi, this is Michael Campbell, the founder of Glossika. If you love languages as much as I do, then you have to subscribe to our channel, or else you're just missing out.